Yes, sir. Back, back, and we lit. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Ty back at y'all with another video. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all comment, share, subscribe if you new. Different setup, man. Long story. Going through some temporary technical difficulties right now, but we're gonna make the best of it. Right? Bro, listen. Today I want to talk about something that I said I wasn't gonna talk about no more. Right? And I hear a lot of these dudes on YouTube lying, man, once again. And I'm not gonna say no names, anything like that. I don't hop on none of these platforms to have conversations because most dudes get disrespectful, they get reckless. It just, people don't have not to have a man-to-man conversation. People get too emotional about certain topics, certain players, and I ain't got time for it, man. So some of these people I got respect for, some of them I don't have respect for. So, I mean, it is what it is with that. But most of these channels, man, I do not go on these platforms to talk and have conversations because most of these dudes get too reckless. They talk crazy, and I ain't got time for the BS, bro. I just don't. It's basketball at the end of the day. And like I said, a lot of these dudes be willing to jump off a bridge or kill somebody over basketball, bro. It's just basketball talk, bro. It's just basketball talk. So I don't understand any of this. So anybody that's new to my channel or will be new to my channel, you can go back and watch all my videos. For the past 6-7 months I've been making content. And anybody on my channel, I'll let you know whether they agree or disagree with me or not. I call all these dudes out. I don't sugarcoat anything with any of these players. I love all of them, it's all love, but the truth is the truth and the facts is the facts. And the title of this video is gonna be "The Truth Hurts, but It Heals." Nonetheless, I digress with that. We're gonna get to this video. I want to talk about the 03 playoffs. The playoffs, the series against the Spurs and the Lakers. Kobe Bryant. I want to talk about Kobe Bryant, Shaq, all of them. It's not going to be a Kobe Bryant video. So calm down for anybody that's going to get upset about this. Right? Listen. Right? Like I said, I was listening to these YouTubers talk about, or they was on YouTube talking about this. And once again, people be lying. Not putting none in context. Trying to blame Shaq for the reason why they lost the series against the Spurs, and that wasn't the case. I'm finna break all this stuff down. I even got a couple of stats to back up what I'm saying, because a lot of these dudes do not tell the truth at all. Right? So let's get to this video, man. Getting straight to the point. Kobe Bryant, he averaged 32 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. You got people on YouTube on this conversation, talking about this conversation, saying that Kobe Bryant was the ball handler. Once again, they ran a triangle offense, equal opportunity offense. Everyone touched the ball. Everybody knew how to pass. Stop the line. Once again, that's the reason why I can't respect a lot of these dudes when they talk basketball, and especially when it comes to Kobe Bryant, because a lot of these dudes do not put nothing in context at all. They just say they just try to blame, nitpick, and just try to make it seem like Kobe is just some perfect basketball player, and that's just not the case, man. And I hate to have this conversation, man, because people gonna be trying to say I'm talking about the dead and all this other old stuff. Cool. This ain't personal. We ain't talking about no situations in Colorado. We ain't talking about his kids, his wife, and all the other stuff. When he snitched on Shaq, we leaving all that out the way. We talking about basketball on the court. The same thing with all these dudes. It's strictly basketball, so it's not personal. But nonetheless, I digress. Kobe Bryant, 32, 5, and 3. That's what he averaged against the Spurs, his numbers. 43, he was a 43% shooter in the playoffs. Once again, I keep telling y'all, he's average to below average at that, with that. But you got people on YouTube that I debunk once again talking about, true field goal percentage and all this other nonsense, man. It's just crazy how people would just come up with all these scenarios to try to make it seem like Kobe was this and that and the third, and they don't put nothing in context. I can't respect it. So that's why you got people like me that break it down, right? Nonetheless, he was 43% field goal percentage. He had a 43% field goal percentage in the series. He shot 44% from the three-point line. Once again, so that means most of his points was in the perimeter. He wasn't even getting to the hole for real or anything like that. Most of his points, if it's this close, 43, field goal percentage and 44 from 3, that means most of his shots were coming from the perimeter, right? So they was daring Kobe to basically be a 3-point shooter or beat them from the perimeter, right? So that's another reason. That's a reason why they lost as well. People don't put none in context, man. But nonetheless, I digress. 78. He shot 78% from the free throw line, right? Now let's get to Shaq, man. Shaq averaged 25, 13, and 3 blocks a game. But you got people on YouTube that say these are Anthony Davis numbers. When the 2000s was the most physical era in their modern era, the early 2000s and the early 2010s was the most physical ball, that we've seen. I talked about this a couple of months in my other videos. If y'all want to go back and look at some of my quote-unquote Kobe bash videos, y'all could, whatever y'all want to say about the Kobe thing, right? So if people want to say that you got somebody that's just disrespectful, man, talking about putting Anthony Davis and Shaq in the same conversation as far as his numbers is just crazy. This man averaged 25, 13, and 3 blocks against the Spurs. Now, they didn't win the series because, like I said, the Spurs had the better team, man. I'm finna put all this stuff into context, right? So, talk about Anthony Davis numbers when they had when that was one of the most physical eras in the modern era. Ridiculous point, right? So, Shaq shot 55%. He had a 55% field goal percentage, but he played like Anthony Davis in the playoffs. Give me a break, man. Come on, this is ridiculous. So, you got, when he shot 50%, we all know Shaq is not a good free throw shooter, right? So, people want to say that that's the reason why they lost the series and all this other stuff. Cool. You want to point to his field goal percentage on one of the main reasons why they lost the series? I give you that. That was a reason why they lost the series, but that wasn't the whole reason why they lost the series, right? The Spurs were just an overall better team, and like I said, they dared Kobe to basically be a jump shooter in the series. That's just what it was, right? So they just was the Spurs were just a better team, and I'm finna break it down to y'all. See, okay, let's get down to this, right? A lot of people don't talk about this either. I hinted on this in my videos as well. That three-peat Lakers team was they was the dumbest team as far as IQ go in the history of basketball. That team had no IQ. That's the reason why Phil Jackson didn't want his team playing certain teams. I think one of those high IQ teams was the Utah Jazz. He avoided them basically in a season because teams like that would beat the Lakers if they basically if they matched up with them and they basically had a team. If they matched up with a high IQ team, Phil Jackson was smart enough to know that they would lose. That's one of the main reasons why they lost this series against the Spurs, because not to mention they was the better team, but they also was a Greg Popovich coach team as well. High IQ team, right? Smart team, right? So they lost to that team as well. 0-2, people don't like a lot of stuff goes into this three-peat with the Lakers, man, because in 0-2, in the 2002 series, right, you also had people that said that that when they played the Sacramento Kings, right, you had people that when they played the Sacramento Kings, the Kings technically was the better team. They lost that series because of dumb plays, low IQ mistakes, mental errors. Vlade Divac, mental errors. I don't want to get into all this. Don't even get me started. That Lakers team was very low IQ. They played some of the weakest competition in NBA Finals, but nonetheless, it don't take away from none of these guys' greatness at all. When y'all take away, but what y'all Kobe fans like to do is take away from Shaq. And when y'all take away from Shaq, you take away from Kobe. When you take away from Kobe's greatness, you take away from Shaq's greatness. That's what y'all, a lot of dudes don't talk about at all. Both of them were great. Like I said, I even give y'all this. After 2002, Shaq was still the better player, but guess what? Kobe was 1A. I give him 1A to Shaq. Shaq was 1, Kobe was 1A. I give him that much credit, right? But when y'all Kobe fans like to do, when y'all say this ridiculous stuff talking about Anthony Davis numbers and all this other bull crap, y'all take away from the greatness of Kobe too when y'all do that. So that's one of the main things that I don't like about when people try to defend Kobe. Y'all try to make excuses for him and y'all diminish his teammates. And I'm finna get into that as well. I'm cooking on all this today, BS today. Let's get into Tim Duncan's series. This was the year the Spurs won the championship. Keep this in mind. Tim Duncan in this series, he averaged 28, 11, and 4. damn near 5 assists a game. He shot he was a 70% free throw shooter in this series. He led in that series in points, rebounds, and win shares. Tim Duncan was playing on a whole nother level that year. Yeah, he outplayed Shaq. The better team won as well. He outplayed Shaq. He outplayed the team. The better team won. Tim Duncan was on a mission that year. He led in points, rebounds, and assists, and he won Finals MVP that year when they played the Nets in that series. When they played the Nets in 03, he was on a mission that year. Tim Duncan was playing on a whole nother level. So you got to give him that much credit. Another dude, Tony Parker. Once again, I'm finna put all this stuff into context. Tony Parker, he averaged 14 points a game, 4 assists, 4.2 assists, 3.2 rebounds. This was Tony Parker's second year in the NBA. Second year in the NBA in 2003. Keep that in mind. Manu Ginobili, he averaged 11.5 points per game. 3 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists a game. This was his 4th year in the NBA. Ginobili was a starter at some point during those stretches when he was a San Antonio Spur. A lot of people don't talk about this. Let me tell you one of the main reasons why Laker fans, Kobe fans, people that want to sit here and defend Kobe, right, on YouTube. Y'all know one of the main reasons why Tim Duncan was able to dethrone the Lakers finally? And one of the main reasons why every time he matched up against the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq got the best of him. He didn't start winning until Tim Duncan got wet, y'all. A backcourt. When they drafted Tony Parker and they got Manu Ginobili together, that's when Tim Duncan started winning his championships. Don't take nothing away from Tim Duncan, by the way. Top 5 player on my list all time, right? He also won the championship before those 2 guys as well. But nonetheless, he started to get more of his titles once Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili finally arrived. And it was points. And don't sit here and try to and people don't try to take none away from Manu Ginobili, because Manu Ginobili, he was a starter after they won that 03 championship as well. And he started 72 games. He started not 72, 74 games that following season. And not to mention, he played some great defense in that series against the Lakers. He was a great off-ball defender, and he was good at taking charges. And he was an underrated shot blocker. Manu Ginobili did a lot for that team as a 6-man and as a starter. So don't sit here and tell me that like I said, y'all, the Spurs were just a better team. I told y'all that when the Lakers play high, that's the reason why Phil Jackson avoided the high IQ teams. He didn't want to play the high IQ teams. He was scared to death of the high IQ teams. And when he finally ran into one, which was the Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili Spurs, they lost. They lost to a better team. Now Shaq and Kobe could have played better, but at the end of the day, the Spurs was the better team. They won the championship that year and everything. So you can't do nothing but just tip your hat off to Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili and the San Antonio Spurs for winning that season. Not to mention, y'all, they finished that season 60-22. They won 60 games that season, right? They had a 9-game winning streak that season, and they had an 11-game winning streak that season. That Spurs team, that was a great Spurs team that the Lakers played. The Spurs were just a better team. They was better prepared. They was better prepared for the Lakers that year. You got to give them credit. Not to mention they had great defenders. They had David Robinson, he won the championship his last year in the NBA with that Spurs team. You had Bruce Bowen, one of the greatest defenders that played in the NBA. They had Steven Jackson. They had Speedy Claxton, Kevin Willis, Eric Barkley. That Spurs team was great. That was a great team that the Lakers played. You got to tip your hat off to the Spurs. They was the better team. They won. But Tim Duncan didn't start to beat the Lakers until he got a backcourt. A lot of these dudes don't put nothing in context. They want to sit here and lie. They want to sit here and lie and want to blame Shaq for the reason why they lost the series, talking about he put up Anthony Davis numbers. Anthony Davis, man, bro, are you serious? Anthony Davis wouldn't even be able to, man, you know how, they call him Terry Cloth now. They got people on YouTube that call him Terry Cloth now and all this other stuff, right? Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Right? You got people that on YouTube that talk all this stuff about Anthony Davis. Do you think he would last in the NBA Bruce Bowen, Tim Duncan in the early 2000s, he'll be injury prone just as much as he is in this season, just as much he would be that he is now. Like, y'all dudes don't put nothing in context, man. I'm telling you, look, listen, this one thing about me, y'all. I'm gonna tell the truth about all these dudes, man, and I'm gonna go and do research on these dudes. A lot of these dudes on YouTube, they lie. They don't put nothing in context. The only thing, a lot of these, and like I said, it's a lot of them that I got a lot of respect for. But like I said, let me say this. Most of these dudes, man, they'll sit here, they say shit and do shit for likes, shares, views, and all this other stuff for money, clout, all this other shit. I don't care about the money. I'm gonna tell the truth about all these dudes. I don't care how many subscribers that I get. One thing about me, man. One thing about me, I'm gonna build my platform off the truth and off the facts, off empirical data, off logic and rationale. I'm gonna give y'all a reason on why I say the things that I say, not just blur it out because it sounds good to say. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these dudes, man, they like one of the main reasons why a lot of these dudes that sit here and fabricate all these lies, for one, they fanboys. They want to sit here and talk about LeBron James fanboys. LeBron James fanboys are just annoying, bronzexuals, whatever y'all want to call them. They just annoying and obnoxious. Kobe Bryant fanboys, they would be willing to die, jump off a cliff for the man. Some of these dudes would be willing to kill a nigga for Kobe Bryant. I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all dudes probably don't even know this, and I know I don't even want to say all this on my channel. Before he passed, he was a practicing witch. He promoted a lot of this stuff that he used to do on ESPN, allegedly, right? He used to promote all this stuff. He used to practice. He was on points. He used to say he showed you he practiced black magic and witchcraft. He told you all this stuff. Alter egos and all this other stuff, Black Mamba and all. He telling y'all without telling y'all, man. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to use, a lot of y'all dudes are under this Kobe Bryant spell, man, and it blocks y'all understanding and logic when it comes to basketball talk. Some of y'all dudes, some of these dudes, man, they'll get a good woman, get some you know what, some good you know what, right? And lose their mind. Most of y'all dudes be willing to lose y'all mind about this man. This man probably wouldn't even acknowledge y'all in real life if he was still here. And like I said, I love Kobe, man. I love all these dudes, but somebody got to tell the truth about all this stuff, man. I got to be the logical one in this right here. A lot of these dudes, man, let me tell you something, and I'm finna say this before I end this video. Like I said, when you talk about this 03, when Tim Duncan won, keep in mind, he won 3 championships with that big 3 of Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. That organic big 3 that they built. They drafted Tim Duncan. They drafted Tony Parker. They drafted Manu Ginobili. Organically built. And they won 3 titles. No, they won 4. Because they won one in 2014 as well. But in that 2000 era, they won 3 titles. 03, 05, 07. A lot of these people don't put none of this stuff into context at all, man. The same thing that's the same thing they did to LeBron James in 2007. That's the same thing they did with Kobe. They basically dared the man to be a perimeter shooter. That's one of the main reasons why the Detroit Pistons beat them in 2004 when they went back to the finals. They dared Kobe to shoot the ball. They dared Kobe to shoot the ball, and he basically shot them out of the series. A lot of these people don't talk about. He shot them out of that series that a lot of people don't talk about. Go look at Shaq's numbers. He was cooking in that series. You can't blame Shaq for that series since y'all want to blame Shaq for everything else, right? Y'all take away from, when y'all take away from Kobe, when you take away from Shaq greatness, you take away from Kobe's greatness. This is one of the main things that I want to hit on before I end this video. A lot of these dudes, man, they'll sell out for a like, a share, a subscriber, a Cash App donation, PayPal, whatever it is. Because I can care less about the money. I don't do this for the money. I do this for the love of the game and to bring some logic and rationale to this. A lot of these dudes will be willing to sell their soul to lie for a Cash App donation, for a PayPal donation. They'll be willing to sell out for that. And guess what? You ain't got to have thousands of dollars to sell out. You ain't got to have millions of dollars to be a sellout. You ain't got to have all this money to be no sellout. $2, you could be a sellout for telling a lie. A Cash App or a PayPal donation, $2, $10. You basically selling out your morals, your principles, and even a lot of these dudes sell out their morals, their principles, and the truth to get a quick dollar on YouTube. Is it really worth all that to tell the truth? Put this shit in context, bro. See, like I said, I don't give a damn about how old y'all motherfuckers is. I don't give a damn about how old people is with all due respect. Like I said, I'm not saying it in a way. I still got respect for people, but we got to have conversations logically. I respect men. I don't respect males. We got to have a conversation as men. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this stuff, because I love this right here. It ain't me. If I'm talking like this because I'm talking to y'all. I'm just talking to myself on the camera and my energy up there. But for the most part, I'm not finna disrespect nobody to make a profit. I'm not finna disrespect nobody for no likes, clicks, and views. It ain't even worth all that. It ain't even that serious. I don't care if I blow up on this YouTube thing or not. I'm gonna tell the truth though. The truth is the truth. It's the facts is the facts. And I don't know if I said it in this video, but the title of this video is gonna be "The Truth Hurts, but it heals," man. It heals, man. A lot of these dudes will be willing to sell out for a quick dollar. You can like, bro, like the realest people like to listen, and people like to listen to Tupac and all this other stuff. The realest people don't have a lot of friends, y'all. The realest people don't have all the goddamn subscribers in the world, all the supporters in the world. You tell the truth. When you tell the truth and you're a truth teller, now sometimes you're gonna build it up. Your subscribers and stuff gonna build up over time due to all the work that you put in. I'm not taking none away from that. But guess what? It's only a lot of this stuff. A lot of these people keep receipts on YouTube. A lot of receipts. A lot of people like to delete stuff and all this other crap. The stuff that people say, it can be documented. You never know who could be listening to a lot of this stuff. But one thing about me, every video that I made, I stand 10 toes on whatever it is that I say. I ain't sugarcoat nothing for none of these dudes, man. I'm trying to tell you, I bring content, I bring facts. I brought facts to this. Now the last couple of my videos when I was talking about Kobe Bryant and a lot of these dudes, I ain't bring too many stats. LeBron James, I ain't bring too many stats. But when I did my top 20 a couple of months ago, I brought facts. I brought stats. I brought empirical data. One thing about me, I'm gonna bring facts to the table. We can have a conversation as men, but let's leave the emotion out of it. A lot of these dudes get too emotional on these channels, on these platforms. I ain't got time for it. I'm gonna tell the truth. The truth hurts, but it heals. That's all I got for this video, man. I was gonna, and guess what? This is another thing I forgot about as well. A lot of y'all dudes forget about the 01. I think they played them in 2000 or 2001. Kobe Bryant did not play well against the Pacers. I think it was 2000 or 2001 he played the Pacers. The Shaq and Kobe played the Pacers. It was either one of them years, 2000 or 2001. Or I don't know, it could have been 99. No, it wasn't. Hold on. They three-peated in 2000, 01, and 02. So it was either 01 or 2000 that they played the Pacers. Kobe did not play well in that series. Go look at his numbers. I ain't got them on paper right now. That anybody that want to debate me on that, I can go and pull up the facts. At the end of the day, that's what it is. The facts are the facts. And like I said, the truth hurts, but it heals. That's all I got for this video, man. I got more content on the way, man. It's the summertime. I'm going to be bringing more content like this as well. I did have a different video for y'all, but I wanted to cook on this. But nonetheless, I got more content on the way for y'all. Y'all stay tuned. It's the summertime. We're going to be cooking on a variety of topics, man. I can't wait. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all comment, share, subscribe if you're new. All love. I apologize for the camera setup, man. I got to get that situated. I got to get that straight. I got the everything. I'm en route on fixing up my little setup for to do a lot of these videos on the inside as well. So I'm gonna bring a lot of videos on the inside of my place as well, and in my and with my laptop and my computers and stuff like that. So I'm getting all that stuff set up for y'all. It's coming soon. It's en route. I love y'all. Y'all stay tuned. All love. Peace.